Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. It's KNHD here, and welcome to playthrough number 6 of Eden, or Eden, where there were only 2 on the planet. Now, I'm doing something a little bit special for this channel right now, because if you've been here for a while, you would notice that I started another playthrough of Nekopara. So, if you don't know yet, what I'm trying to do right now is that I'm trying to do 2 visual novels at one time. So at the moment, I'm trying to see if I can make it work out with doing Eden and Nekopara both together and try to go back and forth between the 2 and see how I kind of try to organize and manage that. So I say that. Why? Because honestly, I kind of forgot everything that happened in the last playthrough of Eden. If anything, the most I really remember from the last playthrough of Eden is the fact that the main character had a nice little deep conversation with Shion in Shion's room. And I think that's like the only real important thing we need to know from the last playthrough of Eden. Otherwise, the story's just beginning and everything's kind of starting to pick up. So, there's really not much left to say, huh? There's really not much left to say. Other than that, let's just get started. I'm gonna be. Do excuse me for this playthrough. I'm gonna be a little tired. Okay, I've been up since like 9 in the morning. Went to work, did a bunch of yada yada stuff. It is now 1 in the morning, and I'm trying to function off of this stuff right here. Trying my best to function off of energy drinks right now. So, do excuse me if I am a little bit sluggish, or if I'm a little bit slow, or if I'm not as enthusiastic as I normally am, because today's just gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna try my best to keep things a little interesting and keep things good though. So don't worry. Don't worry. I will definitely still try to do my best. But other than that, let's try to have ourselves a good playthrough and another good session, alright? Let's do it. I suddenly stopped and looked out the window. The clouds were clearing, revealing serene blue sky extending all the way to the horizon. Staring at it for a while made my eyes hurt slightly. The light was a little much for my eyes, having been exhausted from the night shift. And Elika! Yo, what a way to start off the playthrough! Elika freaking man. Alright, this is already gonna be a good playthrough, everybody. Let's go. The maid girl whispered with concern. That's good to see. You're doing well, Elika. I hope everything's doing alright. You were kind of feeling a little ill there earlier. My shift ended the same as usual. After handing things over to my relief, I said goodbye to Lavie and ran into Elika on the way back to my room.
別に何でもない。
本当ですか？体調が悪いのでしたら、私が見て差し上げましょうか。
Oh, you want to look at me, Elika? I'll be more than happy to.
本当にもういいのか？
Yeah, are you okay, Elika?
ずる休みでしたから。
Lie! You lie! I had a hard time telling how much of what Elika said was true, but at least her complexion looked fine.
でも、本当にりょうくん、ちょっと変ですよ。
いや、ちょっと前に世界の滅亡を信じるかって人に聞かれたんだ。
宗教の人ですか？ごめんなさい。私って空気を読まずに冗談を言う癖がありまして。
It was a good attempt, Elika. I forgive you. Elika said wholeheartedly as she let out a deep sigh.
そのようだな。
まあ、このご時世だと今の冗談はあまり面白くないですね。それで、りょうくんは何て答えたんですか？
なんだったかな。あまり現実感はないとか、そんな感じか。
それが当然でしょうね。目に見えるほころびがあっても、本当に滅びるその時まで疑いを捨てられないでしょう。
She spoke in a clear tone. I almost never heard from her. I hope never heard
りょう
from
く
her.
んだけじゃなくて、誰もが。
エリカは信じているのか？
実を言うと、私は 信じさせる側でしたよ。
信じさせる側？
What do you mean by that?
昔は科学者だったんですよ、私も。
ああ、そうか。そうだったな。
I sometimes forgot, given her usual dress and personality, but she was unmistakably a Felix. It was only natural she had participated in the Earth evacuation project in some form.
あまり優秀ではありませんでしたけどね。
Oh, but you're definitely high caliber in other areas, Elka. No need to worry. She shrugged her shoulders and gave a bitter smile. As a Felix, Elka's intelligence was far above that of humans. It would only be appropriate that at one point she would have worked on the colony ships. No, since she had been born a Felix, she was obligated to use those abilities of hers to save humanity.
地球脱出計画が始まった頃は、世界の終わりを信じない人が多かったですから。偉い方たちに予算を出してもらうために、熱望がいかに確実なものかをデータを揃えて細々と説明しましたね。
Give me a second.
そりゃあご苦労だったな。
冗談じゃないですよ。
Elka pouted.
私が可愛くて人をそらさない優しさがにじみ出してるから、偉い人たちも強くは出られないだろうとか言われて矢面に立たされたんですよ。
What are you talking about? Elka cute and she knows it. Yo, I like a girl that knows what she's talking about.
いくらそれが事実でも、そんな理由で研究から外されたんですよ。もう参っちゃいましたよ。
Okay, so many points went up. Oh my god, Elka just rose up so many points. What the fuck? Was she trying to brag or was she bitter? How about a little bit of both, man? Elka knows that she good. She knows she got it good. And man, she is willing to show it off too. Oh man, I love a girl like that, man. As I pondered, Elka sighed deeply.
まあ優秀じゃなかったのも事実なので、私は研究よりも外との折衝役が多くなって、なんだか嫌になって。
ドロップアウトしたわけか。
シオンがいましたからね。エンジンの開発が専門でしたけど、シオンは何でもできましたから。本当は私も他のフェリックスも普通の科学者さんたちも必要なかったんです。
Elka smiled bitterly once more. In her 100 years of life, I was sure she must have gone through things I couldn't even begin to
それでよか
imagine.
ったんじゃないか。エリカはのんびりお茶を入れてる方が似合ってる。
それは嬉しいような、バカにされてるような、複雑な気がします。
本当のことを言っただけだ。
Only the truth. Only the truth. Oh, we gotta zoom in. As she was deep in thought, I placed a hand on her shoulder.
それじゃ俺はもう行く。エリカは洗濯するんだろ。
はい。なんならりょうくんのも一緒に洗いますよ。
いや、いい。自分で洗濯するのがもう当たり前になってるから。
Smooth, Ryou, smooth. When I joined the army, I became frighteningly capable of handling my everyday necessities before even honing my combat skills.
男の人の服を洗ったりして、ちょっと新妻気分を味わってみたいとかいうひそやかな願望もあるんですが。
God damn it, someone please marry this girl.
他のやつで味わってくれ。
Bruh! No! Ryou, you did not just say that to her! The tease! She knitted her brow and glared at me. It was an expression that I hadn't seen much of until a few days ago. I suspected that Elka felt we had grown a little closer ever since I was returned to radio. She was pretty friendly with me from the start, so it might have been just my imagination.
まったく、りょうくんは気が利きませんね。もういいです。さようなら。
Damn, look at her. Now you made her a little mad. She seemed to be in quite a bad mood as she walked off.
エリカ、
Oh!
はい。
Nonetheless, she stopped when I called her name.
なんでもない。すまない。
Are you just testing her? Were you just testing her or something, Ryou? You had her full attention.
変な
You
亮
had
君
her
ですね
full on attention, man. Could have earned some points there. Yeah, I guess I was pretty strange. If it was bugging me, then I should have just asked her about it. Why couldn't I get the words out? Oh, flashback time. I had to ask about Natsume. About my sister. My shift was over, and I should have gone back to my room to rest. So why was I here? I took a drink of the black tea, made by a private I had become acquainted with. It was nothing compared to Elika's, but it wasn't undrinkable. It was coming up on a month since I had been first stationed here. According to Shion, this facility would soon be shut down, but such a directive had yet to be issued. These tediously slow days were still trudging along.
あれ春菜純衣じゃない。何してるの？
I figured we were gonna bump into Lavie.
お前こそ何してるんだ？
I looked hard at the face of my partner, whom I had been with on the night shifts until just a little while ago.
ちょっと眠れなくてね。
Lavie pulled out a chair within reach and sat down in an unexpectedly refined fashion.
なんか最近あんたって
なんだ？
エリカさんとずいぶん仲がいいみたいじゃない。
別に。エリカは誰とでも仲がいいじゃないか。
Even though she was admired by everybody, she had never fallen for anyone. That was what Shion had said.
春菜純衣と話している時のエリカさんはいつも楽しそう。
もしそうだとしても、それが何だって言うんだ？
あんたは気づいてないの？エリカさんが時々不安そうにしてること。あんたほどの人が気づいてないとは言わせない。ぼーっとしてるように見えて常に周囲に気を配ってる。今でも。
悪い癖だと思ってるけどな。
I was one who had wandered through battlefields unsure of whether I would live or die, and fought to outmaneuver enemies who would employ any means to kill me. I was always honing my senses so that I wouldn't overlook the slightest changes in a situation.
私の口からは言えない。エリカさんが何を不安に思っているか予想はついても確実なことはわからない。でもその不安は春菜純衣が何か一言言えば消えるものかもしれない。
何をカリカリしてるんだ？
It wasn't that I didn't understand what she was saying. I just didn't know why Lavie was so concerned about Elika. Rather, it looked like she was irritated about something else and was venting at me.
鈍い男を見てるとイライラするのよ。好きじゃないの、そういうの。
We're just being dense. Okay, she doesn't like the fact that we're dense.
勝
Got
手
it.
だな。
The other people in the room were starting to focus on us. I suppose it was only natural. Lavie was one of the few female soldiers here, and setting aside her personality, there seemed to be lots of men with their eyes set on a good-looking woman.
ちょっと空気が悪いね。
だな。
場所を変えようか。
Lavie is cute. Nah, Lavie is really cute. But she'd probably tear your dick out. Lavie stood up without waiting for my answer. My drowsiness had completely disappeared. As usual, there was nobody to be found at the shooting range. It was virtually uninhabitable except during scheduled practices. We were facility guards who rarely got the chance to see combat, so practice was essential all the more.
何考え込んでるのよ。
訓練計画でも提出してみるか。
Of course.
ここまでろくに訓練しない奴らと一緒に勤務してるっていうのはゾッとする。
But then again, I'm over here sipping for freaking Elika. Oh shit, I said the word. Twitch staff, please don't.
やめとけば。余計な波風立てて上官にも部下にも煙たがられるのはバカのやることよ。 それに春菜獣医なら部隊が全滅しても一人だけ生き残りそうよ。他の連中の腕前なんかどうでもいいんじゃないの？
生き残る確率は上げておきたいがな。それに何があっても生き残れるのはラビーも同じじゃないのか。
どうだろうね。
Lavie gently laughed and shrugged. It seems like they're getting along quite well. Pretty nice. Honestly speaking, I couldn't begin to measure Lavie's abilities. Her every action left no opening, but that was natural of anyone with a little training, so I couldn't discern how skilled she truly was.
私はね、実はここで会う前から春菜獣医のことを知ってたの。
それは初耳だ。
A little
6年
backstory,
前
eh?
かな。旧東京での迎撃作戦覚えてる？
そういえばそんなことがあったな。
After the conflict with the enemy landing unit at the bay, we cleaned up the remaining enemy forces and were advancing inland.
確かあの時は俺の部隊もかなり損害食らって、ああそうだ、部隊とはぐれて連絡も取れなかったもんだから一人でしばらくさまよってた気がする。
覚えてるんじゃない。その時同じように一人で戦場をさまよってた私と会ったことは？
全然。
あんたね。
You were just a grunt. What do you expect? Navi's fist was shaking. It appears that I have incurred her wrath.
戦場で同い年くらいの女の子と出会うなんてかなり衝撃的でしょうが、なんでそんなことも忘れてるのよ。
Girl, I had more important things to worry about, like my damn life.
女の子って言ってもその時お前も兵隊だったんだろ。戦場じゃあまり男とか女とか考えなかったからな。
There we go! There you go, Ryou! Boy or girl doesn't matter, buddy. I'm on the battlefield. I'm trying to stay alive. When I assessed others, it had been in terms of how competent or incompetent they were, and if they were competent, which field they excelled at. That was about the extent of what I kept on my mind.
とにかく私はあんたと行動を共にしたのよ。3日くらいだけど。
へえ。
No.
本当に完璧に忘れてるわけね。
もちろん覚えていない。
Of course I don't. Yo, okay. I love how blunt he is. Of course I don't remember. The fuck? I could just about hear the blood vessels bludging from her temples. Of course, that was just my imagination.
あんたはあの時あんたは狙撃兵だった。それもとびっきり腕のいい、私には怪物じみて見えるほどの。
Now that she mentioned it, I vaguely remember something like that. As I moved through the collapsed city of Old Tokyo alone, I searched for what few enemy troops lurked in the rubble and dealt with them. They weren't very adept and couldn't tell where the shots came from, so it was simple to take them out one at a time as they scrambled amidst the confusion. There was really nothing else to do. It was a time killer, so I did it again and again. Just picking people off, man. Why not?
私は銃が得意じゃないし、目もあまり良くないの。
じゃああの戦場じゃ役立たずだったんじゃないのか。
Bruh!
ええ、そうよ。あんたは観測士をやれとか言ったけど全然役に立たなかったよ。悪かったな。
Bruh!
そんなこと言ったのか。
I said that. That sounded like me.
まあそんなことはいいの。眉一つ動かさず冷静に的確に敵兵を殺していくあんたは少し怖かったけど、私は聞いてみたのよ。
何を？
She took a short breath.
あんたはなぜ戦ってるのかって。
つい最近も似たような質問をされた記憶があるな。
答えは今も昔も変わってない。大事な人のためだってあんたははっきりと言っ
Now I understood. Have I been achieving my original objective? If my determination was shaken, if I were to stand still, I may have been crushed under the weight of the sins I had accumulated. I couldn't afford to be crushed as long as I hadn't yet reached my goal.
結局割とすぐに私たちは友軍に合流できた。それぞれ別の部隊に編入されたけど。
へえ、それはそれは。
Catching feelings or something?
あ、ちょっと勘違いしないでよ。好きだとかそういうことじゃないからね。
Very tsundere of you, Lavie. Oh, what the heck? My phone is buzzing.
っていうかちょっとだけ好きだったけど、漫画じゃあるまいし何年も引っ張ったりするわけないでしょ。
さりげなく自爆してないか、ラビ。
Doesn't every anime character say that though? Doesn't every anime character say that? This isn't a manga or anything, but it's still a visual novel, which is even better. I think Lavie was waiting for me to suddenly remember our purported meeting from back then. Her frustration seemed to be overflowing since I had little recollection of the event no matter how much she pressed the issue.
ああ、もう話が違う方向に行ってる。
I hadn't done anything wrong, so why was I being yelled at?
ねえ、春菜獣医の大事な人って誰なの？その人がいるからエリカさんを見てあげられないってわけ？
お前には関係ないよ。
関係ないことなんて一つもない。私は今も昔もあんたの相棒なのよ。
I like this development.
相棒だからって互いのことを何から何まで知っている必要なんてないだろう。俺だってラビーのことを知らない。知らないことの方が多い。
あんたが知ろうとしないからだろ。
Yo! Whoa! Hold up! I didn't blink once! I didn't take my eyes off her! Wait! Hold on! This is really a conversation about trust! What is going on here? In spite of that, no sooner had her hands moved did she manage to draw her knife.
何の真似だ。
What the? Oh, okay. So yeah, what's the big deal?
さすがね。すごい反応速度。
Bruh, man, what the hell is going on here, dude? They just started fucking pointing. I thought their development was no. Okay, maybe this is a good chance for them to bond. Right. Lavie had without a doubt moved first, and I hadn't been able to follow her movement. But even so, I had my handgun pointed at her before she could prepare her knife.
頭で考えるより先に体が動く。撃たれる前に撃つ。お前も同じだろ。
春菜獣医に向けちゃいけないのは銃でもナイフでもなくて殺気なわけね。
そんなところだな。もう一度聞こうか。いきなり何の真似だ。
あんたのそのすまし顔にも飽きてきたのよ。
Yo, okay.
怖い目だな。
She dangerous.
ラビ。
Those are some scary eyes,
戦場で会
girl.
った時にお前がそんな目をしていたなら俺は忘れなかっただろう。
憧れの兵士だったあんたにそう言われるのは光栄ね。そう、私はあんたみたいになりたかった。腕も細くて体力もなくて戦場じゃ足手まとい扱いされ続けてきた私がなりたいと思った兵士そのもの。
Admired, huh?
春菜亮、あんたに会えたから、確かな目標を見つけたから私は強くなれたのよ。
ラビーが強いんだとしたらそれだけの訓練を積んで戦いをくぐり抜けてきたからだろう。
The way she drew and handled her knife just now was magnificent. I couldn't find any flaw in her
だけど
stance.
刃を向ける相手を間違えるな。いや、お前は武器なんて持つべきじゃないのかもしれない。
どういうことよ。
お前は俺より軽傷だってことだよ。
Ooh. I lowered my gun and put it away in its holster.
殺意を向けると同時に殺さなければ反撃を食らう。それくらいは分かってるだろうが、任務でなければ非常になれないんだろ。
確かに私はマシーンじゃないかもしれない。まだそこまで研ぎ澄まされていない。
Lavie dropped her knife. Her sharp eyes still glared at me.
それでいいと俺は思う。俺は大事な人のために戦ってきた。大勢の人間を殺したし、人に言えないようなことも何度もやってきた。血で汚れきってしまったから、もう彼女に会うことはできない。
Elka had said she knew my sister, but that was why I couldn't ask about her. It had been 7 years since she had been taken away. I couldn't let her see how much I had changed. Alright. A little tense.
ラビー順位は限界です。
And then he goes and straight reports her. And then he goes and just straight reports Lavie. Got it. The major stared hard at me, his mouth agape.
限界だと言ったんです。あいつは人殺しには向いてない。
いきなりやってきて何を言い出すかと思えば。ほら、それよりこれ見ろよ。
He scratched his head and turned the screen towards me. The application loaded up the emails with the subject Renews coverage requests lined up one after the other.
しつこいのなんのって。いやー、シオンに取材したいっていう分野は多いけど、こんなに必要に連絡してきたやつは初めてだよ。当のマヤ、最近売り出し中の若いジャーナリストらしいが、見上げた根性だね。部下に欲しいくらいだ。
そうですね。そいつを部下にしてラビーをどこかで後方任務に就かせてやればどうでしょう。
ラビーがダメってそんなにか？
I wouldn't really give up hope on Lavie, but yeah, that's true. For someone that's going to be going on missions to kill people, you need to have the mindset to just blindly kill people.
分かっているくせに
Lavie
そ
still
ういう
has
とぼけ方を
morals.
しないでください。
I think that's what that whole conversation was about. The main difference between Lavie and Ryou. Ryou is willing to be able to kill without putting his morals first. But Lavie, she still kind of has morals that she cares deeply about. She'll still run her mission, don't get her wrong. But those morals, those beliefs, slow her down.
端的に言って彼女は軍人に向いていません。
I didn't know what reason Lavie had for joining the army and had no intent on prying into her past. One thing's for certain, she wasn't tough enough to kill for a living. That expression she showed me when she pulled out her knife, it was the face of someone a step away from breaking. It didn't seem like she turned to drugs and the likes just yet, but if she kept working like this, that may just be a matter of time.
ラビーはお前と同じで戦場でそれなりの手柄を立てて順位にまでなったんだぞ。資質的に軍人向きじゃないってことはないだろ
よほど自分を押し殺してきたんでしょう。能力はあっても性格的に向いてないんですよ。少佐はラビー順位が潰れるまで使い切るつもりですか？
潰れるなら所詮それまでだ。
Major Inaba declared a smile on his face, albeit a small one.
遊びでやってるんじゃないんだ。やめたければその自由がラビーにはあるし、俺がどうこう言うことではない。違うか？
You're not wrong, Inaba. You're not wrong. I guess I don't blame him for his decision. He can't... Ryou's trying to help Lavie out, but if Lavie wants to keep doing this, it's her choice. And Inaba shouldn't try to force her for her sake. Even if it hurts her, huh? I wanted to say otherwise. Lavie saw no alternatives. She was a type who carried out her orders to the letter, to the bitter end, no matter what they may be. I was certain that a long time ago, a girl by the name of Lavinia had decided that this would be the right path for herself. Her chance encounter with me may have strengthened that resolve. She had stuck to that decision to this day, believing that solitary choice would decide the rest of her life. If there was anything that could overturn that belief, it would be if her superior, Major Inaba, diverted her from that course in life, by force if necessary.
ラビーは上官の命令なら聞くでしょう。そして、ここで彼女への命令権を持っているのはあなただ。
Ryou has a kind heart.
悪いが、どうやってもそんな命令は下せない。
Shion is much more important than Lavie's mental health.
どういうことですか？
間もなくこの研究所は閉鎖される。
知ってます。
おや、どこで鍵つけたんだ？
The Major seemed genuinely surprised. Shion probably hadn't already actually known it was shutting down, but likely saw the writing on the wall. She probably foresaw me coming too.
シオンを宇宙に移送するんですね。
なるほど。お姫様はお見通しか。その通りだ。もう間もなく彼女にはここを離れ、まずは月へ向かっていただく。
その際の随員として俺とラビーも選ばれたわけですか。
ま、そういうことだな。なんせ彼女は人気も高いが敵も多い。移民反対派はほぼ地上から一掃されたとはいえ、たった一人のテロリストが戦争の引き金を引いたことだってある。油断はできん。
In addition, those jealous of her popularity could also be trouble. There were sure to be those who knew the eternal state of the military, so you could say they also posed a
大
threat.
人数の護衛をつけるのはかえって危険というのが上の判断だ。目立たないように最小限の人数で彼女を宇宙に上げる。これはもう決定事項だ。どうやっても覆すことはできない。
Yeah, Inaba is definitely in no position to let Lavie off for the sake of her mental health. If Lavie ceases to function, then so be it.
だからといってラビーでなくとも構わないでしょう。
Oh, but that's where you're wrong, Ryou.
シオンは女性だ。護衛の中にも女性が一人いた方が望ましい。信頼できて腕も立ち、しかも女性。
Very limited.
その条件を満たす軍人はそうはいない。
There was also no emotion in his words. It was like he was just indifferently speaking the facts.
あなたはいつか後悔するかもしれませんよ。
後悔なんてずっとしてるさ。そもそも軍人なんぞにならなければと。ずっとな。
There was nothing more to say. I understood and saluted the mayor. The major. I turned around without another word. My mind couldn't be any cooler, and my five senses were as sharp as ever. If I looked into the mirror, I might have been able to see the face of a demon who had forgotten his humanity. I sat on my bed, staring straight at the wall, clutching my pistol in my hand. In the end, this was all I had. I could only fight as ordered. While I had noticed Lavie's issues, I couldn't even lend a helping hand. I would protect Shion with my life alongside a broken Lavie. That was all I could do. That and defeating those who stood in my way with this pistol. That girl had never seen the outside world, staring intently at a monitor on the empty island, working herself to the bone to allow mankind to escape into space, huh? And her transfer to space will be the first and final journey.
私はただ世界を見てみたかったの。
Shion lost her freedom because of how talented she was.
見てみたい。大空の下をかけてみたいと思ったら、私は止まれなくなった。
She would have to leave this world knowing nothing of the blue sky, the clouds, the wind.
ほんの一瞬でも構わない。優しい風の中で笑っていられれば、そうしたら。
Was this really to be the fate of the girl who saves mankind? Okay, Ryo's starting to really...
私は、世界にさよならを言うの。
Ryou really is starting to show it, huh?
あんたと同じように苦しんでる女の子がいる。
I strengthened the grip on my gun. The echo of my sister's words and Shion's reality sent a stabbing pain through my heart. A modest wish and woeful words. I had to bring it to an end. No. My first and last chance to stop this was right in front of me. Right this second. I never wanted to feel the same way I did back then, ever again. Back then. Consider me your big sister, she said. That person who suddenly appeared and begun living in my home. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, tending the fields, and of course hunting with a rifle. She couldn't do any of these things. She was utterly helpless. However...
ごめんね。何もできなくて。
I came to love the way she smiled when she shyly said that.
すごいね、りょうは。まだ小さいのに何でもできちゃうんだから。
That hand that brushed my head was warm. Natsume, huh? One day, Mom and Dad suddenly disappeared. When I woke up in the morning, breakfast was left on the table. Back then, all I did was eat breakfast and go outside to tend the fields.
きっと何か理由があったのよ。
I lowered my head. I wasn't so sure of that. There used to be many people living all over this mountain. But the people on the mountain started disappearing one by one until only my family remained. And finally, Mom and Dad disappeared too.
君のお父さんもお母さんもいつか必ず帰ってくる。だから、
Ah, fuck. I skipped it. This person who appeared, who crossed paths with Mom and Dad. I naturally accepted this kind person. She called herself Natsume, but I called her sister. I woke up early every day, watered the crops, fed the chickens, and made breakfast for two.
おはよう。今日も早いのね。
おはよう。もう朝ごはんできてるよ。
I think I finally passed where I left off. From the previous playthrough, I think I finally passed it. From here on, everything is 100% unfamiliar to me. Let's see where this goes, y'all.
すごいね、りょうは。
I never really did learn about the story
私
of
の婿さん
Natsume.
にならない？
Let's find out. Let's see what Natsume is all about. This is the same cabin, though, that Ryou and Shion were spotted at the very beginning of the story. So it seems like Ryou's just gonna escape back to here. I blushed and couldn't say anything back.
りょうったら面白いわね。何も本気にしなくても。
今日姉さんはお昼抜き。
ちょっと、それはないでしょ。悪かったから機嫌直してよ、りょうくん。
Of course, I wasn't seriously angry. Far from it. I was actually happy. Even if she was joking, what she said made me
で
happy.
も嬉しいな。
え？
りょうは私のこと好きなんでしょ？
It didn't sound like a joke this time. Although she had a smile on her face, her eyes were genuinely sincere. But I couldn't say it. I couldn't say that I liked her out loud.
やっぱりりょうも男の子ね。意地っ張りなんだから。
早く食べないと冷めるよ。
I said bluntly and picked up my fork. But she didn't touch her food. She only gazed at me. Life with my sister passed by uneventfully. She was useless in a good way, and just ate and slept every day. However, she taught me many things. I had always lived on this mountain and knew nothing but the skills to stay alive. To me, my sister's story were a breath of fresh air. She taught me that the planet was coming to an end, about the existence of the ships that would take us to live beyond the sky, about the outside world where war raged on. I listened to all these stories which set my heart aflutter. And finally,
人々を次の世界に連れて行ってくれた女の子がいるの。
女の子？
とても強い女の子よ。人の未来を託され、祈りを希望に変えて、新しい世界への道しるべとなった。未来があるからこそ、人は生きていくことの大切さを知る。そんな当たり前のことを私たちに思い出させてくれたの。
その子はどこにいるの？
遠いところにいるわ。ずっとずっと遠いところ。今も彼女は終わりではなく始まりをもたらすためにその命を燃やし続けている。ただ前だけを見つめて遠くの世界を夢見ながら。
so Natsume already had a good feeling about this, huh?
私はこうも思うの。
え？
Could Natsume possibly be a Felix too?
前だけ見ていちゃダメなんじゃないかって。時々横を見たり後ろを向いたりしてもしかしたらそこに大切なものがあるかもしれない。
From the little information they've told us about Natsume, it seems like Natsume is more of like an adoptive sister. Like, they're not blood related. Which means there's a possible chance that Natsume might be a Felix, and maybe related to Elika in a sense. They have the same color hair. It's a good guess.
落とし物をしているかもしれない。好きな人の笑顔があるかもしれない。
I'm going to put my money that Natsume is possibly a Felix.
たまには周りを見渡してみることも大事なんじゃないかって。私がそうだったから。いつも前だけしか見えてなくて、ただがむしゃらに足を動かすだけで、自分がどんな足跡を残してるのかもわからなかった。本当は前すら見てなかったのね。何も見てなかったことが怖くて、自分が見たいものを。そして君と出会った。
Yeah, they're totally not related. Got it,
姉
got
さん、
it. Totally not related.
彼女もここに来ればいいのに。りょうはきっと彼女のいい友達になれる。何も根拠はないけれど確かな予感がするのよ。
What are the chances of actually meeting her, huh? I thought I was happy. It was fun to cook for her, and although the things she told me were a little confusing, listening to her voice warmed my heart. However, happiness always weakened the heart. I was probably happy when I was living with mom and dad as well. When I was enveloped in happiness, I thought of nothing. I never made sure it was actually in my best interest or not. When a happiness ended, I knew for the first time how irreplaceable the time I had spent truly was. That was something I should have known. But I was an idiot. I was an idiot for believing that I could live with her forever. I realized something felt odd when I was cleaning up after breakfast. I couldn't explain what it was, but I had a tingle on the back of my neck. Something bad was coming. I grabbed my rifle and threw all the ammo I had onto the
りょ
table.
う、どうしたの？姉さんはここにいて。
I answered without taking my eyes off the door. There was no way there would be any bears, but it could have been a stray dog. Something that could break into the house. Regardless, I had to take control of the situation. I loaded the magazine on the rifle and pulled back on the bolt to ready a
りょ
round.
う、そんなものどう？
I heard it just as she began talking behind me. The sound of footsteps coming. The sound of footsteps outside coming towards the door. It didn't sound like a wild animal. It was definitely people. However, this bad feeling just kept growing wouldn't let me take my hands off the rifle. What should I do? There was no way I could shoot a person. But this was my sister. My mind was all over the place, and the subtle shaking on my hand which held the rifle would not cease.
やめなさい、りょう。
She placed her hand on top of my own.
いいの。多分私にはもう分かったから。君がそんなものを向ける必要のない相手よ。そうでしょ？稲葉注意。
She looked at the door, as if waiting for something to happen. Several seconds passed. The door opened, and a lone man walked in.
よくわかったな。
Inaba. The man had a slightly bemused look on his face and stood a small distance away from us.
稲葉注意なら自分で私を迎えに来ると思っただけよ。
Inaba. I did not guess that for whatever reason, but it was definitely soldiers. But Inaba, so this is a story on how Ryou possibly became a soldier?
なるほどね。さすがは夏目。お見通しってわけだ。
Now that confirms that Natsume is totally a Felix.
注意こそよくここが分かったものね。追跡任務なんて専門外でしょうに。
専門外というなら君も同じだろう。いくら君の知能が優れてると言っても、初めて外に出て軍の追跡から逃げようなんて無理な話だ。
This guy was an enemy. My sister's enemy were my
出て行
enemies.
け。
I readied the rifle and aimed for his forehead. From this distance, I wouldn't miss, even if I were blindfolded. My fingers could move faster than this man could.
これは。どこでこんな立派な騎士様を見つけたんだ、夏目。
やめて。この子をバカにすることは私が許さない。たとえ君でも。
悪かったよ。
Embarrassed, he shrugged his shoulders and scratched his head.
謝るからその銃を下げてくれ。おもちゃじゃなさそうだし、割と怖いんだが。
お前が出て行けばそれで済むことだ。
困ったな。バカにしちゃいけないとなると、本気で相手することになっちまうな。
ちょっと待って。
少しくらいなら待つのは構わないがね。
His tone grew low and gloomy.
できるだけ早くこのクソくだらない任務を終わらせたいんだ。だから夏目、もう終わりにさせてくれ。これ以上揉めたところで何も結果は変わりはしないんだ。
分かってるわ。稲葉注意。
She nodded slightly and grabbed the barrel of the
姉
gun.
さん。
ありがとう、りょう。でもね、もういいの。君の優しい気持ちが 私は嬉しい。それだけで十分なの。
Damn. Natsume, huh? That's Natsume, the mystery girl that Ryou admires. Ara. Yep, I get Ara vibes from her. That show to love, man. The scent of her hair, the scent of her hair reached my nose as she hugged me. She got them Elika vibes. She totally has them Elika vibes, man. I couldn't think while wrapped in my sister's warmth.
姉さん。
さよならよ、りょう。ここに来て、私はたくさんのものを見た。空も風も、森の匂いや花の香り。湖の水の冷たさも、夜の静けさも、全部忘れない。
This was such a small little segment, and I can already see just how powerful their bond was. I mean, I guess we were getting a lot of hints about Natsume all throughout this playthrough, but still, it's so nice being able to finally see Natsume. I mean, I guess it's even more special for me because, I mean, I played this game way back then, and I never got to this point. I never really had a chance to see Natsume! Okay, totally Elika's sister. Totally Elika's sister. No way. No way. Totally Elika's sister. There is absolutely no way.
姉さん。
No way. No way. What if Elika is Natsume? No. No way. Her body parted from mine. The warmth faded into the distance. My brain understood that she would never come back.
それでは、
Literally dying. She got that shine too, yo. The man opened the door, and my sister left the room without looking back. The man followed after her. Where exactly were they going? Why did she have to go? Why was I being left alone? Just like mom and dad. And now my sister. Why was everyone disappearing? Before I knew it, I snapped and I ran out of the house after them. She was still there. She stood between some number of men walking leisurely away.
姉さん。
Look at the young Ryou. She halted. The men looked at me suspiciously, but I didn't care about that. I had to say something. This was different from when my parents disappeared. Right now, my sister was about to leave for who knows where. I had to stop her. Surely, I would be able to take her back. But how?
りょう、泣いてはダメよ。男の子なら泣いてはダメ。泣いている暇があったら少しでも強くなりなさい。君は今でも強いけれど、きっともっと強くなれる。優しい君は人を守れる強さを身につけられる。これも私の確かな予感よ。
My sister addressed me with the same kind tone she always did. Her back was still turned. But why did her words feel a little sad?
私、君に出会えてよかった。
Yo, she crying. I see
本
it.
当に幸せだった。
Did that just get there?
だから、いつかもう一度会いましょう。その時も君と会えたことを幸せに思える。
Feel bad.
そんな気がするの。
Just like that, she disappeared without saying another word. Far away, so far I could never see her again. I didn't want that to happen. Why couldn't we just be together forever? Why?
泣かないのは大したもんだな。
Yeah, Ryou has a fucking super grudge on fucking Inaba. Christ, no wonder. That man from before, what did she call him? Lieutenant Inaba? Why was he here again?
何をびっくりした顔してるんだ。さっきからずっといたぞ。ま、 お前さんが落ち着くのを待ってたんだ。どうだ？
I didn't reply and glared into Inaba's eyes. This was a guy. If not for him.
行く前に礼を言っておこうと思ってな。夏目が世話になった。幸せだったか。よっぽど楽しかったんだな。ここでのお前さんとの生活が。
それを壊したのはお前じゃないか。
I couldn't hold back any longer. My head was boiling like it was caught on fire and couldn't help but want to spew the flames at him. I aimed and launched my tightly clenched fists straight at Inaba's stomach. A fist filled with hatred, sorrow, and despair. I mean, I get what they were trying to do there. But I straight got a fucking Doki Doki vibe from that shit, not gonna lie. My fist made contact. Or so I thought, until I was sent flying sideways. I felt a burning in my right cheek as I smacked into the ground.
おお、びっくりした。なんだ今のお前の動き。以前に何か訓練を受けたことあるのか？
うるさい。
Is Inaba just gonna straight up fuck Ryou up? I could feel my head loosely shaking, but I still managed to stand, groveling on the ground in front of this man. What a joke.
リーチの差がなかったら、今頃こっちが悶絶してたな。危ない危ない。というか、大丈夫か？つい思いっきり殴っちまったな。
うるさいって言ってるだろう。お前なんかに心配されたくない。
ほう、全然大丈夫そうだな。それなら安心だ。
He grinned and suddenly threw something down at me. It was a small, thin piece of paper.
なんだこれ。
俺の名刺さ。そいつを持って統一軍の基地に行きな。
基地？
入隊には少しばかり年が足りないだろうが、それは俺が何とかしてやる。まあ。 我が軍の人手不足は深刻だからな。
Inaba out here trying to recruit children.
入れるはずだ。
It's no wonder Ryou is such a super soldier.
体は丈夫そうだし、まず受かるだろ
う。Inaba literally created a monster.
なんで僕が軍隊なんかに。
夏目に会う方法を教えてやってるんだよ。黙って聞け。
His tone suddenly turned furious.
こんな山ん中にこもってても。 一生夏目には会えやしない。一番の近道は軍に入ることだ。
なんで？
So Inaba helped him out.
彼女の身柄を預かるのが軍だからだ。だが、夏目がいる場所には簡単には手が届かない。死に物狂いにならなきゃな。
Inaba
強くなれって。 夏目も言っていただろう。自分を磨くなら軍隊以上の場所はない。
なんでお前の言うことを聞かなきゃいけないんだ。
He was making a fool of me. He took her away, and now he was telling me how to meet her. Don't screw with me. If it weren't for you people.
何が軍だ。お前たちの仲間になんかならなくたって、姉さんを取り戻してみせる。
夏目を守ることもできなかったやつが偉そうな口を聞くな。このまま山にこもって一生後悔を続けるのもいい。軍に突撃するのもいいだろう。だが二度と夏目には会えない。まずは自分の無力を知れ。世界を知れ。そこから全部始まるんだ。大人になるってことも含めてな。
He suddenly clicked his tongue.
くだらない。余計なことを言い過ぎだな、俺は。
And when he tried to turn around.
待てよ。
なんだ。
姉さんを連れて行っておいて、どうして僕に取り戻す方法を教えるんだ。
多分、お前に取り返してもらいたいんだろうな、俺は。
Damn, yeah. There wasn't any particular emotion in what he said. It sounded like he was just saying whatever came to mind.
あ
However,
んたは姉さんと。
さて、なんだろうな。
Inaba.
大人同士だからな。定義づけができない複雑でわけのわからない関係ってのもあるんだ。
意味がわからない。
I fucking like Inaba.
安心しろ。
He's such a chill
俺もわからん。
character. After saying that, he smiled just a little. The fact I hated him for taking my sister away hadn't changed. It hadn't changed, but was it because of the way his smile looked so sad? Or was it because of the way his shoulders seemed to droop? In order to take back my sister, I grasped at the straw held out in front of me. Or so I thought. I still recalled these memories vividly, even now. In particular, the day she and I said goodbye. There was no way that I'd ever forget. It was a memory which would never fade no matter how much time passed. Everything started on that day. Or perhaps that was the day everything
りょ
ended.
うくん
And of course, we're greeted with Elika. A fragile voice interrupted my reminiscing. I looked up. There stood the maid girl, holding the radio, so dear to her.
またシオンをほったらかしにしてきたのか。
驚きませんね。気づいてたんですか？
一応それなりに訓練を積んでるんでね。足音を忍ばせたくらいじゃ俺を驚かすのは無理だな。
でもドアは開いてましたよ。
それは俺としたことがとんだ油断だな。
I grinned on reflex. The relaxed environment here might have had a bad influence on me.
それでどうしたんだ？
シオンにはちゃんと断ってきました。今は自由時間なんですよ。
And then, so you decide to come visit Ryou on your free time.
自由時間なら着替えたらどうなんだ？
この服が好きなんですよ。お望みならりょうくんのお好みの服装に着替えてきますけど。
Yo, I might take you up for that offer. If it was me in Ryo's position.
いろいろコレクションを取り揃えているので、大抵の要求には応えられると思いますよ。
Are you sure?
いや、い
Of course, Ryo won't take up the offer. He's too much of a man. I shook my
要件を
head.
話してくれ。
前に言ったじゃないですか。好きな音楽番組があるって。
ああ、
今、珍しく電波状況がいいので、一緒に聞きませんか？
I silently nodded. Elika smiled and sat beside me. The springs in the bed bounced a little under her
た
weight.
まにはいい音楽を聴いて、心を和ますのもいいですよね。
Elika too precious for this world. As she said that, she flipped the switch on the radio. And it's literally the song that was just playing, except now with really bad quality. After some slight static faded, a calm melody flowed through the speakers. The music was quiet, harmless, and could put a person to sleep. It was of no value to me. If I were my usual self, I probably couldn't listen to it for more than a minute. But right now, this music felt very comfortable.
ね、いい曲が流れてるでしょ？
ああ、
ああ、ばっかり。もうちょっとちゃんとした反応を返してくれると、お姉さんは嬉しいな。
お姉さんね。ま、俺よりとんでもなく年上なのは確かだろうが。
もう、
Her eyes grew wide.
なんだよ、 それは。
年のことは言わないでくださいよ。気にしてるのに。
今さら気にするのか？
Even though she was nearly 100 years old?
気にしますよ。女の子ですから。
A girl of a young heart.
ま
A
あ、見た目は
100-year-old
女の
girl
子と
with
呼
a
んで
young
も差し支
heart.
えないが、
中身も乙女チック全開なのに。ショックです。
She looked a little upset.
いろいろ分かりにくいよな、エリカたちは。
私たち、フェリクスってことですか？
そうだ。
I listened carefully to the streaming music with some occasional noise mixed in.
姉さん、夏目もフェリクスだったんだろ。
I guess that was kind of obvious, wasn't it?
はい。
Yep.
今のシオンと同じように、夏目もここに縛り付けられていた。
そうです。
そこから逃げ出して、俺のところに迷い込んで。でもまた研究所に連れ戻されて。
はい。夏目は1年も経たずに戻ってきてしまいました。
Lieutenant Inaba brought my sister back. Elika called my sister her friend. If I recalled the many things my sister once told me and put them all together, there was only one conclusion I could reach. She must have been conducting research of some sort here as well. That has to be how it was.
姉さんは研究所で何を？
彼女も移民船の開発に関わっていました。ソフトウェア開発の方でしたけど。シオンほどではありませんでしたが、フェリクスの中でもかなり優秀な部類に入りましたね、夏目は。多くのフェリクスはあちこちに散らばってますけど、夏目は計画の中心であるここから離れることを許されませんでした。
Then how did Natsume escape?
寝ても覚めても同じ景色。毎日が同じことの繰り返し。外の世界のことなんて知らなくて、仕事以外に何もすることがなくて、辛かったんでしょうね。
それで研究所から逃げ出したんだな。だけど、捕まって連れ戻されて。
Either Ryo's island is on this research facility, or she took a boat or some type of plane or helicopter and went on some crazy mission to get out of there. I couldn't hesitate any longer. I mean, she is a Felix, after all. If I didn't ask now, I would probably never know the truth. If I didn't ask now, I would probably never even try to learn the truth. I had to ask.
それから？
死にましたよ。
Damn. Damn. Of course. Yeah. Of course she's not here anymore. Of course she's not here anymore. The reason why he's fighting, the reason why he did all of this. Damn. His purpose. Fuck. I let out a sigh. It wasn't a huge surprise. There was not a single ripple in my heart.
研究所に戻ってきて、1年も経たないうちに。
Oddly enough, all I felt was relief. It was like a weight had been lifted from my shoulders. The pain and grief that had been eating away at me these past few years had finally disappeared. I could feel my mood lighten, and even color seemed to return to the world. I could finally accept the truth.
フェリクスは不老ではあっても不死ではありません。 彼女もごく初期に作られたフェリクスでしたから、とっくに限界は来ていたんです。
I see.
急速に体が衰弱して、本当にあっという間でした。あっという間に夏目は燃え尽きるようにして行ってしまいました。
もういい。よくわかった。姉さんはもういない。それだけのことだ。
My 7-year depression was so pathetic, it cleared away with a few brief words. My desire to reunite with her had vanished long ago. I had stopped wondering about her after my first year or so in the military. After that,
大事な人のために戦ってたなんて大嘘だ。人殺しの自分を正当化するための言い訳だ。戦争を楽しむための建前だ。
if I wanted to know about my sister, I could have just asked the major the day I arrived here. Why hadn't I just done that? Was part of me too scared to ask? I probably didn't want to hear it. I also felt guilty talking about my sister now that I was stained with blood. But the biggest reason was that it didn't matter. Because I wasn't interested in anything outside of fighting.
俺は目的を見失ってただの獣になっていた。
そしてそのまま獣であり続けるつもりですか？
With a click, she shut off the radio. The small room was silent once again. This is a new tune.
私は
She's actually vibrating with
ずっ
light!
とあなたのことを気にして
What is this? Elika has transcended! What magical beauty that she can already transcend? I don't know what the words are coming out of my mouth, but this is
小
new.
さいけど優しくて強いりょうくん、あなたの話を何度も何度も聞かされました。
This is a new type of glow.
弱り切った小さな声で何度も夏目は語ってくれました。私はあなたのことを知りたかった。あなたに会って話してみたかったんです。
会って失望しただろう。恐ろしかっただろう。
はい。
Elika nodded with hesitation. She could be absent-minded at times, but she wasn't at all slow. Knowing her, she had likely seen through to my true character at a single glance.
だけどそれは当然のことです。7年も経っているし、何よりりょうくんは軍にいたんです。変わらない方がおかしいんです。りょうくんは確かに人殺しです。でもそれが何だって言うんですか？
You're a murderer, but whatever, right?
夏目を一番大事な人を助けるために始めたことをなぜあなたは否定するんですか？あなたは大事なものを取り戻せなかった。何が大事なのか忘れてしまった。だけどまだ全てを失ったわけではないでしょ？
何もないさ。
いいえ、りょうくんは生きています。あなたはもう何もできずに夏目を連れ去られた頃のあなたじゃない。そして夏目を守ろうとした優しい心もまだ失ってはいないはずです。だから今のりょうくんにはできることがあるでしょう。
エリカ、俺に何をさせるつもりなんだ？
何も。
She shook her head.
私は自分が望んだことをやるだけです。りょうくんも私はただりょうくんが気づいてないんじゃないかなって思ったことを教えただけです。
Elika's too good for this world. A faint smile spread across her lips. It wasn't the fake indiscriminately cheerful smile I had seen thus far, but an honest, gentle smile. No, I had seen the smile of hers once before. On the first day I came to the facility, it was that smile which sent a jolt straight to my heart.
前に言ってたな。エリカとシオンは姉妹のようなものだって。
はい。
もしかして姉さんもなのか。姉さんもエリカと同じ遺伝子を。
I mean, I already see the resemblance.
よく似ているとしょっちゅう言われていました。だから私と夏目はいい友達でいられたのかもしれません。
そうか。姉さんは。
She said goodbye to her friend and left Major Inaba, who she had some sort of relationship with. She wanted to see the outside world so much that she was willing to abandon all of that. Why did they go so far to hunt her down? She lived for a long, long time, and knew that her end was near.
フェリックスにも終わりは来る。エリカやシオンももちろん同じなんだな。
私はしぶとい人なので今のところ特に良くない兆候はありませんね。ただシオンはそれほど長くはないでしょう。あの子は少し働きすぎましたから。
ほとんど部屋から出てこなかったのは少しでも体力の消耗を抑えようとしていたわけか。
それもありますが、シオンはプライドが高いですから人前で倒れるようなことにはなりたくなかったんです。本当はいつ死んでもおかしくないくらいで。でもまだなんとかシオンは頑張っています。
本人はそのことを。
気づかないシオンではありません。甘く見ないでください。あの子は人類で最も優れた頭脳を持っているんですよ。
自分のことには無頓着な奴はいくらでもいるさ。
So Shion was in the same situation as my sister.
このままだとシオンは死ぬまで研究を続けさせられて。
あの子はフェリックスの中でも飛び抜けて有能です。生みの親たちにも想像できなかったほどの能力を身につけていて、その要因ははっきり分かっていません。死後は体を切り刻まれて全身を調べ尽くされるかもしれません。新たな天才を作り出すためにシオンは死んでからも利用され続ける。
A sad fate that Shion is going to have to suffer, which is only understandable. That girl will be mangled? She's been locked in this empty facility all her life, utilized in every way possible, and even in death, she won't be able to rest in peace. That was to be Shion's
エ
fate.
リカはどうするつもりなんだ。
分かってるくせにわざわざ聞かなくても。私はメイドさんですからね。シオンが望むことのお手伝いをするだけです。
そうか。そうだな。
The answer was, of course, obvious. If I considered Shion's present condition, there was only one path for Elika to take. It was something I could pretend I hadn't heard her either. But Shion wasn't my sister. There was no need for me to do anything for her, and nothing I could do.
エリカ、姉さんのことを教えてくれてありがとう。だけど俺は人を殺す以外に能のない軍人だ。上官の命令がなければ何もできない飼い犬でしかない。
鎖は引きちぎることができます。あなたのお姉さんはそのことを知っていたのですよ。
She's actually glowing. She's actually glowing. She's actually glowing now. She's 100% glowing.
罪にまみれた獣だろうと。生きている者には 誰もが幸せになる資格がある。私はそう信じています。
With those words, she left the room without looking back. For some reason, an empty loneliness washed over me, as if I had been left behind. How many years has it been since I felt this alone? The radio remained. Has she forgotten it, or left it here on purpose? I flipped the switch. Only the buzz of static came through. Nothing could hurt my ears more. I immediately switched it off. In the silence that followed, my thoughts flickered between a past and present. Sis, I couldn't save you. I couldn't even come to see you. Atonement. I was sure I had to do something to make up for it. It was far too late to beg for forgiveness, which meant there was only one thing I could do. And that one thing... Alright, that's it. I'll stop here. I'm stopping there. That one thing definitely has to deal with something with Shion, of course. Then it's starting to come together. I think we're probably halfway through the story then. We might just possibly be halfway through the story. Interesting. I'm really looking forward to see what comes next. Natsume passed away. The reason why Ryou was fighting in the first place. And Shion kind of resembles Natsume. So it's only natural that Ryou will look up to Shion as, I guess, I want to use the word scapegoat. No, not scapegoat, but replacement. As for another reason to fight. Of course, it's still for Natsume's sake, but he'll try to make it for Shion's sake as well. But I can only wonder how things will progress from here. Damn. I mean, it was only natural that Natsume passed away, but I definitely did felt something from that. It just feels bad, you know? I mean, Ryou, practically the Master Chief of the series, literally Master Chief, freaking raised from a kid to be a super soldier. Well, not a super soldier, but a soldier with the capabilities of a super soldier. Man, and Natsume was cute too, but damn, man. I feel bad for Ryou. I really do feel bad for the man now. All that fighting to be a straight murderer. Christ. Poor guy. Poor fucking guy, man. This is a good story. It's gonna break my heart at the end. We'll just see what happens though, right? I don't know how much longer we got of this story, but I'm glad that I finally passed where I last left off from the previous time I played this game. Now I can feel like I'm playing something completely fresh and new. So I'm hoping that we can finish this, and we can finish this strong. That's gonna be it for this playthrough, guys. If you're looking forward to participating in the next live stream, I do post a live notification on my YouTube channel. If you want to get notified, I do recommend hitting that bell notification so that way you will be notified for when I upload that video, letting you guys know that I am streaming on Twitch. Other than that, that's it. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. This is going to be your boy Canadier logging out. See you guys next time. Peace.